In the Platonic, Neo-Pythagorean, Middle Platonic, and Neoplatonic schools of philosophy, the Demiurge is an artisan-like figure responsible for fashioning and maintaining the physical universe. The Gnostics adopted the term Demiurge. Although a fashioner, the Demiurge is not necessarily the same as the creator figure in the monotheistic sense, because the Demiurge itself and the material from which the Demiurge fashions the universe are both considered consequences of something else. Depending on the system, they may be considered either uncreated and eternal or the product of another entity. The word demiurge is an English word derived from demiurgus, a Latinized form of the Greek demiurgos. It was originally a common noun meaning craftsman or artisan, but gradually came to mean producer and eventually creator. The philosophical usage in the proper noun derived from Plato's Timaeus, written in 360 BC, where the demiurge is presented as the creator of the universe. The demiurge is also described as a creator in the Platonic and Middle Platonic philosophical traditions. In the various branches of the Neoplatonic school, the demiurge is the fashioner of the real perceptible world after the model of the ideas, but is still not itself the one. In the arch-dualistic ideology of the various Gnostic systems, the material universe is evil, while the non-material world is good. According to some strains of Gnosticism, the demiurge is malevolent, as it is linked to the material world. In other words, including the teachings of Valentinius, the demiurge is simply ignorant and misguided. I am the Desert Viking, and today we will continue reading through the Apocrypha of John, where we are introduced to the demiurge. The reading that I just gave at the introduction of this video comes from Wikipedia, just to cite my source. I'm not trying to steal anything. But it was a good summary of what the demiurge was, or what it is, excuse me. In this episode, we are going to be continuing our reading of the Apocrypha of John, and I am on Yaldabaoth's World Order. If you want to follow along, I'm reading from the Nag Hammadi Scriptures, and we are on page 115. So let's continue. Yaldabaoth's World Order. This is the first ruler, the Archon who took great power from his mother. Then he left her and moved away from the place where he was born. His mother being Sophia, who we discussed in the previous episode. He took control and created for himself other aeons with luminous fire, which still exist. He mated with the mindlessness in him and produced authorities for himself. So he's going to now go ahead and create archons, or basically his own version of angels. The name of the first is a Thoth, whom generations call the Reaper. The second is Harmos, who is the Jealous Eye. The third is Kalila, Omri. The fourth is Yabal. The fifth is Adonias, who is called Sabaoth. The sixth is Cain, whom generations of people call the Sun. The seventh is Abel. The eighth is Abrasine. The ninth is Yobel. The 10th is Armopiel. The 11th is Melchior Edonanan. And the 12th is Belias, who is over the depth of the underworld. Now, I will apologize for my butchering of these names. I'm doing my best, so I may get some of these wrong. Yaldabaoth stationed 7 kings, one for each sphere of heaven. At this time that this was written, there were 7 planets acknowledged, so those are the 7 spheres of heaven, to reign over the 7 heavens, and 5 to reign over the depth of the abyss. He shared his fire with them, but he did not give away any of the power of the light he had taken from his mother, for he is ignorant, darkness. When light mixed with darkness, it made the darkness shine. When darkness mixed with light, it dimmed the light, and it became neither light nor darkness, but rather gloom. This gloomy archon has 3 names. The first is Yaldabaoth, the second is Sakla, and the third, Samael. He is wicked in the mindlessness within him. He said, "I am God, and there is no other God beside me," since he did not know from where his own strength had come. The rulers each created 7 powers for themselves, and the powers each created 6 angels, until there were 365 angels. These are the names of the corresponding physiques. The first is a Thoth, and has the face of a sheep. The second is Aloeus, and has the face of a donkey. The third is Astaphaeus, and has the face of a hyena. The fourth is Yao, and has the face of a snake with 7 heads. The fifth is Sebaoth, and has the face of a snake. The sixth is Adonin, and has the face of an ape. The seventh is Sabbateus, and has the face of flaming fire. This is the sevenfold nature of the week. Yalbadeoth has many faces, more than all of these, so that he could show whatever face he wanted when he was among the seraphim. He shared his fire with them, and lorded it over them because of the glorious power he had from his mother's light. That is why he called himself God, and deified, well, we're going to use the word defied, and defied the place from which he came. In his thought, he united the 7 powers with the authorities that were with him. When he spoke, it was done. He named each of the powers, beginning with the highest. First is goodness, with the first power, a Thoth. Second is forethought, with the second power, Elias. Third is divinity, with the third power, Astaphaeus. Fourth is lordship, with the fourth power, Yao. Fifth is kingdom, with the fifth power, Sabaoth. Sixth is jealousy, with the sixth power, Adonin. Seventh is understanding, with the seventh power, Sabbateus. Each has a sphere in its own realm. They were named after the glory above for the destruction of the powers. Although the names given them by their maker were powerful, the names given them after the glory above would bring about their destruction and loss of power. That is why they have 2 names. Yaldabaoth organized everything after the pattern of the first aeons that had come into being, so that he might create everything in an incorruptible form. Not that he had seen the incorruptible ones. Rather, the power that is in him, that he had taken from his mother Sophia, produced in him the pattern for the world order. When he saw creation surrounding him and the throng of angels around him that had come forth from him, he said to them,
I am a jealous God, and there is no other God beside me.
But by announcing this, he suggested to the angels with him that there is another God. For if there were no other God, of whom would he be jealous? Sophia repents. Then the mother began to move around. She realized that she was lacking something when the brightness of her light diminished. She grew dim because her partner had not collaborated with her. I said, Lord, what does it mean that she moved around? Remember, this is the secret book of John. John is asking Jesus this question. The Lord laughed and said, Do not suppose that it is as Moses said, above the waters. No, when she recognized the wickedness that had taken place and the robbery her son had committed, she repented. When she became forgetful in the darkness of ignorance, she began to be ashamed. She did not dare to return, but she was agitated. This agitation is the moving around. The arrogant one took power from his mother. He was ignorant, for he thought no one existed except his mother alone. When he saw the throng of angels he had created, he exalted himself over them. When the mother realized that the trappings of darkness had come into being imperfectly, she understood that her partner had not collaborated with her. She repented with many tears. The whole realm of fullness heard her prayer of repentance and offered praise on her behalf to the invisible Virgin Spirit, and the Spirit consented. When the invisible Spirit consented, the Holy Spirit poured upon her some of the fullness of all. For her partner did not come to her on his own, but he came to her through the realm of fullness, so that he might restore what she lacked. She was taken up not to her own eternal realm, but instead to a position above her son. She was to remain in the 9th heaven until she restored what was lacking in herself. Remember again, Sophia's son is Yalbadeoth. I got that word wrong. The Demiurge. The guy next to me here in the picture. The human appears. A voice called from the exalted heavenly realm. Humanity exists, and the child of humanity. The first ruler, Yaldabaoth, heard the voice and thought it had come from his mother. He did not realize its source. The holy, perfect Mother-Father, the complete forethought, the image of the invisible one, being the Father of the all, through whom everything came into being, the first human. This is the one who showed them and appeared in human shape. The entire realm of the first ruler quaked, and the foundations of the abyss shook. The bottom side of the waters above the material world were lit up by this image that had appeared. When all the authorities and the first ruler stared at this appearance, they saw the whole bottom side as it was lit up. And through the light they saw the shape of the image in the water, the creation of Adam. Yaldabaoth said to the authorities with him,
Come, let's create a human being after the image of God, and with a likeness to ourselves, so that this human image may give us light.
They created through their respective powers according to the features that were given. Each of the authorities contributed a physical feature corresponding to the figure of the image that they had just seen. They created a being like the perfected first human, and said,
Let us call it Adam. That is its name. May give us the power of light.
Then these powers began to create. The first one, goodness, created a soul of bone. The second, forethought, created a soul of sinew. The third, divinity, created a soul of flesh. The fourth, lordship, created a soul of marrow. The fifth, kingdom, created a soul of blood. The sixth, jealousy, created a soul of skin. The seventh, understanding, created a soul of hair. The throng of angels stood by and received these 7 physical substances from the authorities in order to create a network of limbs and trunk with all these parts properly arranged. So the archons are creating the first human in the image that they saw. This is Adam being created. The first one, who is Raphael, began by creating the head. Abron created the skull. Menegestereth created the brain. Asterekmi, the right eye. Thaspomoka, the left eye. Eurynominus, the right ear. Besomen, the left ear. Achiorium, the nose. Banan Ephorum, the lips. Amen, the teeth. Ibakan, the molars. Basiladim, the tonsils. Aka, the uvula. Abaddon, the neck. Common, the vertebrae. Okay, and at this point, I'm just going to go through the parts, and I'm not going to try to pronounce any more of these names because I'm not getting them right. So we're at vertebrae. Here we go. Throat, right shoulder, right elbow, right underarm, right hand, fingers of the right hand, fingers of the left hand, fingernails, right breast, right shoulder joint, left shoulder joint, the belly, the navel, the abdomen, the right ribs, the left ribs, the right hip, the left hip, the marrow, the bones, the stomach, the heart, the lungs, the liver, the spleen, the intestines, the kidneys, the sinews, the backbone, the veins, the arteries, the breath in all limbs, all of the flesh, the right buttock, the left buttock, the penis, the testicles, the genitals, the right thigh, the left thigh, the muscles of the right leg, the muscles of the left, the entire right leg, the entire left leg, the right shin, the left shin, the right ankle, the left ankle, the right foot, the toes, the left foot, the toes, the toenails. Okay, so each archeon created a little bit of Adam. Each one of those lines was an archeon in his name, that name of that archon and what it created. A lot of stuff. Those who are appointed over all of these are 7 in number. Athoth, Armaz, Kalila, Yabal, Sabaoth, Cain, Abel. Those who activate the limbs are part by part. Oh boy. The head, Dialamadaraza. The neck, Yamamaex. The right shoulder, Yakoib. The left shoulder, Owerton. The right hand, Odabi. The left one, Arbeo. The fingers of the right hand, Lampno. The fingers of the left hand, Likapar. The right breast, Barbar. The left breast, Emei. The chest, Pisandrabates. The right shoulder, Coadi. The left shoulder, Odior. The right rib, Asphyxis. The left rib, Sanagaktuta. The abdomen, Aruf. The womb, Sabalo. The right thigh, Charkarb. The left thigh, Chathan. The genitals, Bethinoth. The right leg, Cho. The left leg, Charka. The right shin, Aurora. Left shin, Toetha. Right ankle, Eol. Left ankle, Charaner. right foot. Baston, toes. Arkantakatha, left foot. Marapanaf, its toes. Abrana. Whew! 7 have been empowered over all of these. Michael, Uriel, Asmodeus, Cephastadil, Armoraim, Rikram, Amiorps. Those who are over the senses are Arkandakta. The one who is over perception is Adeathar Bathias. The one who is over imagination is Oma. The one who is over arrangement is Akiaram. The one who is over all impulse is Riaramanacho. I love these names. The source of the demons that are in the entire body are divided into 4: heat, cold, wetness, and dryness. And the mother of them all is matter. The one who is lord over heat is Philosopha. The one who is lord over cold is Orororthus. The one who is lord over what is dry is Aramako. And the one who is lord over wetness is Athuro. The mother of all these, Anorthokros, stands in the midst of them, for she is unlimited and mingles with them all. She is matter, and by her they are nourished. The 4 principal demons are Ephememphi, the demon of pleasure, Yoko, the demon of desire, Nenentophni, the demon of grief, Bliomen, the demon of fear. The mother of them all is Esathesis Auk Epi Pato. From the 4 demons have come passions. From grief comes jealousy, envy, pain, trouble, distress, hard-heartedness, anxiety, sorrow, and others. From pleasure comes an abundance of evil, vain conceit, and the like. From desire comes anger, wrath, bitterness, intense lust, greed, and the like. From fear comes terror, servility, anguish, and shame. All these are like virtues and vices. The insight into their true nature is Anaro, who is head of the material soul, and it dwells with Asethis Z Auk Epipato. Say that 3 times fast. This is the number of angels. In all, they number 365. They all worked together until, limb by limb, the physical and material body was completed. There he lays. Now, there are others over the remaining passions, and I have not told you about them. If you wish to know about them, the information is recorded in the book of Zoroaster, which is a whole different rabbit hole we will not be getting into right now. Adam receives spirit and life. This is where we're going to conclude this segment. So Adam has been built by all of these angels and demons and everything. All the angels and demons worked together until they fashioned the physical body. But for a long time, their creation did not stir or move at all. When the mother wanted to take back the power she had relinquished to the first ruler, she prayed to the most merciful Mother-Father of the all. With the sacred command, the Mother-Father sent 5 luminaries down upon the place of the angels of the first ruler. They advised him so that they may recover the mother's power. So they're going down to the Demiurge and asking for his power back. They said to Yaldabaoth, "Breathe some of your spirit into the face of Adam, and the body will arise." And so Yaldabaoth breathed his spirit into Adam. The spirit is the power of his mother, but he did not realize this because he lives in ignorance. The mother's power went out of Yaldabaoth and into the physical body that had been made to be like the one who is from the beginning. The body moved and became powerful, and it was enlightened. At once, the rest of the powers became jealous. Although Adam came into being through all of them, and they gave their power to this human, Adam was more intelligent than the creators and the first ruler. When they realized that Adam was enlightened and could think more clearly than they, and was stripped of evil, they took and threw Adam into the lowest part of the whole material realm. The blessed, benevolent, merciful Mother-Father had compassion for the mother's power that had been removed from the first ruler. The archons might be able to overpower the physical, perceptible body once again. So, with its benevolent and most merciful spirit, the Mother-Father sent a helper to Adam, enlightened insight, who is from the Mother-Father and who was called life. She helped the whole creature, laboring with it, restoring it to its fullness, teaching it about the descent of the seed, teaching it about the ways of ascent, which is the way of descent. Enlightened insight was hidden within Adam, so that the archons might not recognize her, but that insight might be able to restore what the mother lacked. All right, so that's where we're going to end. So today, in this episode, a lot happened. Man was created, and they basically tricked the Demiurge into, to relinquish the spirit. He breathed the spirit into man and lost his powers, and man received that divine spark from Sophia. And the archons, realizing that humanity was more than them, in their jealousy, threw him basically into the pit, where insight has now come to him and is hidden within his breast, so that the archons and the Demiurge don't recognize it. So when we next meet, we're going to look at the imprisonment of humanity according to the secret book of John. If you liked this, give me a like and a subscribe. If you have any comments, please leave them below. I know I butchered a lot of names, and I apologize deeply for those of you who are sticklers to that. I do my best, but some of those names can be real tongue turners. So until next time, stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon.